Hey there, fellow coin enthusiasts. You won't believe what I've got in my hand today. This little coin right here, a 1984 D mint mark Lincoln penny, could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, you heard that right. Not a typo. I know you're thinking, wait, a penny? That's a joke, right? Well, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll be scouring your pocket change, and maybe even checking your sofa cushions for that little golden ticket. But first, let me tell you a quick story. A while ago, I was at a garage sale, just minding my own business, digging through dusty old boxes, when I came across a random penny. My heart skipped a beat. It wasn't a 1984 D, unfortunately, but it was a rare one that I later flipped for a good chunk of change. It was a little thrilling, to say the least. But let me tell you, finding something like that is a rush, so if you want to find your hidden treasure, grab your coffee, settle in, and let's dive into why this 1984 D Lincoln penny is the one you should be looking for. Now, we all know the Lincoln penny, right? Abraham Lincoln's smiling face, looking as dignified as ever. But here's the kicker, the 1984 D mint mark penny could be worth a small fortune. While the regular 1984 penny is a dime a dozen, no pun intended, the 1984 D version can really stand out in the crowd if you know what to look for. So what makes this penny so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a couple of things: minting errors, scarcity, and the condition it's in. You see, while most 1984 pennies are pretty common, some of them were accidentally struck with a serious flaw. There were rare instances where the die used to stamp these coins got a little too worn out or misaligned, creating some highly valuable varieties. The coins that were struck properly can also have huge value, depending on their condition. Let's talk minting errors for a sec. The world of coin collecting is like a treasure hunt. Sure, there are tons of pennies out there, but those with mistakes? Well, they're a whole other level of rare. For the 1984 D penny, there are a few key errors you should look out for. One of the most notable errors is the off-center strike. This happens when the penny gets struck incorrectly, meaning part of the design, like Lincoln's face or the date, might be cut off or misaligned. If you come across one of these, and it's in decent condition, congratulations. You might just have something worth thousands of dollars. And when I say decent condition, I mean these coins should ideally be in uncirculated or near perfect condition. If you're looking at a penny with significant wear and tear, unfortunately, its value will drop a bit, but hey, it's still worth something. I know, you're probably thinking, why does this sound like school? But trust me, grading is a huge deal. Think of it like giving your penny a report card. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A 1984 D penny that's been kept in perfect condition might get a high grade, and those are the ones that'll rake in the big bucks. You'll want to look for things like sharp details, minimal scratches, and the coin's overall clarity. And now, don't just go pulling out your magnifying glass and staring at every single 1984 D penny you have. You might be disappointed if you find one that's been through the ringer. But, hey, it doesn't hurt to check. You might be sitting on a goldmine and not even know it. Heck, I still can't believe I found a rare penny that turned into a nice little payout. Okay, here's where it gets exciting. If you do find a pristine 1984 D penny with the right minting error or in near perfect condition, it could be worth up to $1.4 million. Yes, million with an M. That's enough to buy a car, a house, or maybe even a vacation home. Maybe I'll do that if I ever find one myself. Now, I know you're probably wondering, is it really that much? How does that even happen? It's all about rarity. The fewer of these errors in good condition, the higher the price. Collectors are willing to pay big for something that's unique. And that's what makes coin collecting so exciting. You never know what treasure you'll stumble upon in your own collection. You're probably itching to know, how can you find one of these million-dollar pennies? Well, the answer is simple: you've got to be diligent. Start by checking your change. Yes, I'm serious. Go through your pockets, your couch cushions, heck, even the bottom of your bag. You never know when you'll find a coin with a mint mark that could make you rich. Make it a habit to look for coins in your spare time, and don't be afraid to check online coin auctions or attend coin shows. Who knows? The next big find might just be around the corner. Look, coin collecting isn't a get-rich-quick game. If you're hoping to find $1 million coin right away, well, you might be waiting a while. But the key is in building your collection over time and being patient. It's like fishing, you throw your line out, wait for the catch, and then, when it happens, it's worth the wait. If you're just starting out, get familiar with grading, learn about minting errors, and always keep an eye out for those rare coins. And don't forget, there's more than just pennies out there. There are nickels, dimes, quarters, and even half dollars that can be worth a lot if you know what to look for. Alright, friends, I hope this video has inspired you to dive deeper into the world of coin collecting and maybe even check your change for that elusive 1984 D penny worth $1.4 million. Remember, you don't have to be an expert to find a hidden treasure. It's all about knowing what to look for, being patient, and having a bit of luck on your side. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about rare coins and how to make money with your collection, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting new tips, strategies, and stories about coins worth a fortune every week. You won't want to miss it. Now, go check your pennies, and remember, sometimes, the smallest things can be worth the most. Catch you next time. Make sure to subscribe for more tips on finding coins worth money and strategies for building a killer collection. And don't forget to leave a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want to share any tips with the rest of the community. Hey there, coin lovers! Do you ever find yourself holding onto random pennies, thinking maybe this one's worth something? Well, I've got a story for you. Picture this, you're going through your change jar, just minding your own business, and bam, you stumble upon a 2013 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, before you throw it back into the jar or into the vending machine, let me tell you, that little copper disc could be worth a cool $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1.50 million. But hold on, don't go running to check your wallet just yet. Let's dive in and talk about why this penny is such a big deal, how you can spot it, and whether you've actually got a small fortune hiding in your couch cushions. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny worth $1 million? This has to be a joke, right? Well, it's not. The 2013 no-mint mark Lincoln penny has earned a spot in the Holy Grail category of rare coins. But how? And more importantly, how can you know if you've got one of these magical pennies lying around? Let's break it down. Here's the thing, in 2013, the US Mint produced pennies without a mint mark, but it wasn't by accident. Most pennies have a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco, which tells you where they were made. But some 2013 pennies, for reasons that still baffle experts, didn't have a mint mark, and that's where the mystery, and the value, comes in. These no mint mark pennies were intended for circulation, but due to a small batch of them slipping through the cracks, they became rare and highly sought after by collectors. You see, sometimes even the smallest, weirdest details make all the difference in the coin world. But why is this penny worth so much? Here's the kicker, it's all about rarity. You've probably heard the saying, it's all about location, location, location. Well, in the coin world, it's rarity, rarity, rarity. Because only a few thousand of these 2013 no-mint mark pennies were ever made, they become incredibly rare, and thus, incredibly valuable. Imagine this, a penny that most people would have tossed aside now has collectors offering millions for it. It's kind of like finding a lost treasure in your own backyard, minus the pirates and the map, of course. And here's where my personal experience comes in. Not too long ago, I was at a coin show. I know, it sounds like a nerdy Saturday, but stay with me, and I saw someone selling one of these rare 2013 no-mint mark pennies for $1.5 million. At first, I thought, that can't be right. I mean, we're talking about a penny, the same ones you toss on the ground when you find them in your pocket, right? But nope, the price tag was real. I mean, who knew that the key to making a fortune could be as simple as spotting a tiny flaw on a coin made more than a decade ago? Now, you're probably wondering, how can you spot one of these elusive pennies? Well, here's the catch. When it comes to the 2013 no-mint mark penny, it's all about the details. Most of the time, the easiest way to find out if your penny has value is to check the absence of the mint mark. If you have a 2013 penny with no mint mark on the back, above the Lincoln Memorial, where it's usually located, congratulations, you might just have something that's worth more than a coffee at your local cafe. But remember, not every 2013 penny without a mint mark is going to be worth $1 million. The condition of the coin matters a lot. A penny in pristine, uncirculated condition could fetch the big bucks, while one that's been through the washer a few times might not bring in much. So, don't get too excited if you've got a grimy penny sitting in your coin jar. Another thing to look out for is whether your 2013 penny is graded. That's right, if you want to cash in on your coin, getting it professionally graded by a service like PCGS or NGC will help you get the best possible price. The better the grade, the higher the value. Alright, coin enthusiasts, now you've got the scoop on the 2013 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Who knew that a simple penny, one you might normally overlook, could be hiding such a big potential payday? So, before you toss any more loose change into the fountain, take a closer look at your pennies. Who knows, you might have a little treasure in your hands. And hey, if you want more tips on how to spot valuable coins and build your own collection, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the action. And remember, you don't have to be a professional coin collector to find gold. Sometimes, it's just about being in the right place at the right time. So, stay curious. Imagine walking into a thrift store, digging through a box of old coins, and finding something so rare, so valuable, it could change your life. What if I told you that a single penny, just like this one, could be worth $1.6 million? That's right, folks. We're talking about the 1970 D-mint Mark Lincoln penny. It's not just a penny, it's a goldmine in disguise. Stick around, because today we're uncovering the mystery of this penny's sky-high value and how you could find one yourself. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the world of rare and valuable coins. If you're into discovering hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Now, before you get too excited, I'm not saying you'll find a $1.6 million penny lying around in your couch cushions, but with a little knowledge, you might just spot one in your coin jar. Today, we're focusing on the 1970 D Lincoln penny, which has had coin collectors buzzing for decades. And yes, I'm serious, it's worth more than your old high school textbooks, your first car, and probably your childhood lunch money combined. So, if you're sitting there thinking, it's just a penny, why would anyone pay that much for it? Let me tell you, this isn't just any penny. Let's break it down. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1970 D Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, which is why it has the D mint mark. This penny might look like any old coin you find in your change drawer, but here's the catch, most of them aren't worth anything close to $1 million. So what makes this one so special? First off, rarity is key. Out of all the 1970 D pennies out there, a small number of them have a distinctive error. Some of these pennies have a double die, meaning the design was stamped twice, creating a noticeable doubling effect, especially on the date and the inscriptions. It's like getting an extra layer of frosting on your cupcake, only this frosting is worth a fortune. This error makes the 1970 D penny a prized possession for serious collectors. If you've got a sharp eye, you might spot the difference. The doubled date is the first thing that jumps out at you. The 1970 D penny with the double die error has noticeable doubling on the numbers in the date, as well as on the lettering of Liberty and In God We Trust. It's pretty subtle if you don't know what you're looking for, but if you spot it, congratulations. You could be holding a small fortune in your hand. Honestly, I had no idea what I was doing the first time I started collecting coins. I used to think all pennies were the same. I mean, how much can a penny really be worth, right? But then I started digging around my coin jar because, every coin collector has a jar somewhere, and I found my first rare penny. No, it wasn't a 1970 D, but it was enough to get me hooked on the hunt. And let me tell you, once you start finding rare coins, you start seeing everything as a potential goldmine. Pro tip, make sure you don't have your entire life savings in pennies. I learned that the hard way. But if you're serious about collecting, a good rule of thumb is to keep an eye out for those small but significant differences. The 1970 D penny is a great example of why details matter. Not every one of these coins is going to be worth a fortune, but a double die 1970 D? That's worth the effort. Now, you might be wondering, how can I tell if my 1970 D penny is the real deal? Well, my friends, it all comes down to a few key factors. First, you'll want to look for the double die error. If you've got a penny that's in good condition and has the doubling, then you've found yourself a collector's dream. You can either take it to a professional coin dealer to confirm, or if you're feeling lucky, you can send it off for grading. Once it's graded, you'll know exactly how much it's worth, and trust me, that will give you a whole new appreciation for that little copper disc. Just imagine the look on your friend's face when you casually drop that you have a penny worth $1.6 million. That'll be the best I told you so moment ever. Alright, folks, that's all for today. If you found this video helpful, or if you're now staring at your coin jar wondering what treasures you might have hidden inside, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe for more tips and tricks on how to find rare and valuable coins. I'll be back with even more coin tips, and who knows? Maybe next time, we'll dig into another coin worth a small fortune. Remember, the world of coins is full of surprises, so keep your eyes peeled and your collection growing. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Hey everyone! Did you ever think that a simple penny could be worth millions? I mean, most of us have probably lost a penny in the couch cushions or tossed it aside without a second thought, right? Well, today, we're talking about the 1982 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin that can actually make you a millionaire. Yeah, you heard that right. This unassuming little copper disc could be sitting in your pocket or jar, just waiting to make you rich. Stick around because I'm about to show you how a coin worth just 1 cent could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million in the current market. So, first, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What makes the 1982 D Lincoln penny so special? I mean, why on earth would a coin that was designed for circulation, the same kind of penny you've probably seen at your local grocery store, be worth so much? Let me break it down for you. The first thing to know is that the 1982 D penny is incredibly rare. But it's not rare in the usual way, like those limited edition collector coins. Instead, the 1982 D penny was struck with a mistake, and, of course, mistakes in the world of coin collecting are gold mines, well, copper mines, but you get the idea. Now, you might be wondering, what's the deal with this mistake? Well, let me take you on a little history trip. The US Mint in 1982 was transitioning from making pennies out of 95% copper to a more affordable 97.5% zinc, with just a thin coating of copper. It was a big deal because the copper in those pennies had gotten way too expensive. But during this transition, some pennies were accidentally struck with the wrong metal. A few got mixed up in the process, and the result was a few rare 1982 D pennies made from the wrong materials, but not just any 1982 D penny. These error pennies have a very specific feature that makes them worth so much. Most of the time, a 1982 D penny is made of zinc, but there are a few that slipped through the cracks, pun intended, and were made from that shiny copper composition. So, what we have here is a penny that should have been zinc but instead is copper, which makes it a super valuable error coin for collectors. So, how much could it be worth? Well, in top condition, and by top condition, I mean this penny looks like it just came off the minting press. It's valued at around $1.7 million. Yes, that's right. 1 cent can be worth a lot more when it's the right one. Now, let's talk about finding one of these bad boys. You might be asking, where do I find a 1982 D penny with a mistake? First off, keep your eyes peeled. The good news is that they can still be found in circulation. Check your pocket change, check your piggy bank, check the bottom of your couch cushions. Seriously, I've found more treasures in the couch than I ever expected. And trust me, I've been tempted to turn every coin I find into a mini treasure hunt. You never know what could be hiding in there, but finding one of these coins isn't as easy as spotting a regular penny. The ones that are worth $1.7 million are rare, and I'm talking really rare. There were only a small number of these copper error pennies made, and they have to be in excellent condition to fetch the big bucks. So, don't expect to walk into your local bank and come out with a handful of them. But you know what they say, you can't win if you don't play. Now, here's a little side story for you. I remember when I first started getting into coin collecting. I was pretty new to the whole thing, and I found a penny in my change one day. It looked weird, like it didn't quite shine like the others. Of course, being the amateur coin collector I was, I didn't think too much of it, tossed it in my jar, and completely forgot about it. Fast forward a few years, and I decided to go through the jar and check out some of the old pennies. Guess what? One of them turned out to be a rare error coin. I didn't make millions off of it, but I certainly learned a valuable lesson. So, always check your change. You never know when a humble penny could be worth a fortune, alright? So let's wrap this up. The 1982 D Lincoln penny with that minting error is one of those hidden gems that might be lurking in your pocket or jar right now. If you find one in good condition, you could have a ticket to serious cash, up to $1.7 million if you're lucky. But remember, coin collecting isn't just about looking for the rarest coins. It's about enjoying the hunt, learning along the way, and having fun. Who knows, maybe you'll find $1 million penny tomorrow, or maybe it'll be the next week, or maybe, just maybe, you'll find the one. And if you do, let me know. I'd love to hear your success story. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on more tips, tricks, and secrets about valuable coins. I've got tons of amazing stories, facts, and strategies lined up to help you become a coin collecting pro. Trust me, you won't want to miss it.so. Keep hunting, stay curious, and who knows? The next $1 million coin might be sitting in your change jar right now. Hey, what's up, coin collectors and future millionaires? Have you ever heard of a coin that's worth more than your car, your house, and your vacation to the Bahamas combined? Well, buckle up, because today we're diving into one of the most surprising finds in the world of coin collecting, the 2002 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a whopping $1.80 million. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? Are you kidding me? But trust me, this isn't your average copper coin. This is a rare treasure hiding in plain sight, and it could be sitting in your pocket right now. Don't believe me? Stick around, and I'll show you how this little penny could change your life forever.so. Let's get into it. You probably already know the 2002 penny. It's that little bronze piece featuring the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln. You probably find them all the time, right? Tossing them around, letting them sit at the bottom of your pocket or your cup holder. But here's where it gets crazy. The 2002 D Mint Mark penny, in certain conditions, is worth a jaw-dropping $1.80 million. Now, the D Mint Mark. That's important. It tells you that the penny was made in Denver, Colorado. Without that D, it's just a regular penny. But when you have the 2002 D Mint Mark in good condition, especially if it's error printed, you're looking at a potential goldmine. The 2002 D Mint Mark penny is rare because, for one reason or another, it was minted in larger quantities than some other years, but with certain errors that make it exceptionally valuable. These are the pennies with unique flaws, such as misprints or double dies. Imagine someone printing out your resume for a job, and they accidentally smudge the ink, leaving an imprint of the word dream where it shouldn't be. Suddenly, your resume is rare, and people are willing to pay more for it, right? Well, same with these pennies. If they've got the right mistakes, they're worth a fortune. Just like when you're at an antique store looking at an old chair, you want it to be in great shape. If the 2002 penny is in pristine condition, no wear, no scratches, no weird discoloration, it automatically increases its value. So, if you have one, check it over with a magnifying glass. Does it have sharp, clear details? If it does, you may just have yourself a winner. The D in 2002 D Mint Mark stands for Denver, which means the coin was minted there. Coins without a mint mark were made in Philadelphia, so having the D Mint Mark makes it a bit more special. Now, I'm not saying you should throw out your 2002 pennies without a D Mint Mark. But trust me, if you happen to stumble across one with that mint mark and it's in mint condition, you're in for a treat. I remember a few years ago, I was just like any other person, tossing pennies in a jar and not thinking twice about it. Until one day, I was going through some old change from a drawer that I'd forgotten about for months. I found a 2002 D penny that looked a bit different. I didn't think much of it at first, but something made me pause. I took a magnifying glass to it, and it had this strange double die impression on it. I couldn't believe my eyes. This penny had the error I had read about online. After a few quick online searches, I realized this penny could be worth up to $1.8 million. I almost fainted. Of course, it wasn't in perfect condition, so it wasn't worth quite that much. But it was still a valuable find. Moral of the story? You never know what treasures are lurking in your pocket, your couch cushions, or that jar of old coins you've been ignoring. Now, I know what you're thinking. I don't want to go through every penny I've got and check for errors. I don't have time for that. But listen, that's where this gets fun. Coin collecting isn't just about hoarding pennies, it's about the thrill of the hunt. Finding these coins takes patience and a little bit of luck, but hey, how else are you going to find a $1.8 million penny? And don't forget, it's not just about this one specific coin. the world of rare coins is full of other surprises. There are plenty of pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters out there that could be worth much more than face value, so stay tuned. Because who knows? Your next pocket change could be worth a small fortune, alright? My friends, here's the bottom line: those 2002 D-Mint Mark Lincoln pennies could be worth a lot more than just 1 cent, and I'm here to make sure you're in the know when it comes to spotting these treasures. So, before you toss another penny into your jar or leave it lying around, take a second to check it out. You never know, you could be holding a ticket to your next big payday. If you've got a 2002 D-Mint Mark penny, or any other rare coins for that matter, make sure to do your research. It's a good time to start investing in your coin collection, and who knows, you could be the next person to make a huge discovery. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. I'm posting more videos like this with tips, tricks, and even some wild stories from my own coin hunts. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. Until next time, keep checking your pocket change, you never know when you'll strike gold. Hey there, fellow coin collectors and treasure hunters. Now, I know what you're thinking: a penny? Worth $1 million? Is this guy pulling my leg? Well, stick around because I'm about to drop a bombshell that might just change the way you look at pocket change forever. Yep, we're talking about the 1969 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be worth up to $1.1 million. No joke. So, grab your magnifying glass, because by the end of this video, you might just be looking at your spare change a little differently. But first, let's dive into why this little copper beauty is so valuable. Welcome to the channel, where we turn pennies into precious knowledge. I'm your host, Jack, and today we're going to unravel the mystery behind this rare gem. Let's get started. Alright, let's set the scene. You're at a garage sale. Maybe you're just grabbing a coffee, casually thumbing through a box of old junk. And boom, there it is. A 1969 D. Lincoln penny. You've seen these before, right? They're everywhere. But hold up, before you toss it back into the pile, take a second to really look at it. This could be the one. No, seriously, this could be $1 million find. Now, I know what you're thinking: it's just a regular old penny. And, for the most part, you'd be right. But the 1969 D-Mint Mark penny has one thing that makes it stand out from the rest: its rare double die variety. That's right, double die. Not a typo, not some mistake in the minting process, but an actual error where the design was stamped twice during production, resulting in a doubled image. This gives the coin a unique look, especially on the date and the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust." This little flaw, or shall I say, flaw-amazing feature, is what collectors go wild for. But wait, here's where it gets interesting. Not every 1969 D penny is worth a fortune. Oh no, no. Most of them are worth just a couple of cents, maybe even a few dollars if they're in good condition. But the rare ones, the ones with that double die error, can fetch a jaw-dropping $1.1 million in the right market. Yep, you heard me right. $1.1 million. And that's not just some pie-in-the-sky number, it's actually happened. Now, I know what you're thinking: isn't this just a little too good to be true? And trust me, I was skeptical too. I mean, who doesn't love a good underdog story? But here's a fun fact: I had a moment like this myself. One day, I was rummaging through a box of old coins my grandpa gave me. Most of them were, well, let's just say, not worth the metal they were made of. But there, tucked between a few boring nickels, was a coin I hadn't seen before, a 1969 D penny. Of course, I was too excited to check it properly. I just put it in a drawer and thought, I'll figure it out later. Fast forward a few months, and I'm watching a coin auction where a 1969 D double die penny gets sold for a ridiculous price. And that's when it hit me: I'd been sitting on a goldmine and missed my chance. Yeah, that was a tough pill to swallow. So, moral of the story: don't let that happen to you. If you've got a 1969 D penny, take a closer look. But before we get into how to spot these $1 million errors, let's talk about what makes these 1969 D pennies so special. To understand that, we need to go back to the minting process for a sec. The US Mint in 1969 had a bit of a hiccup during production. Due to an error with the die, the coin was stamped twice, resulting in the famous double die. But here's the kicker, not all 1969 D pennies were affected. Just a small batch. That's what makes them so valuable today. Here's how you can spot one. First, take a look at the date. If the 9 in 1969 looks like it has a little shadow or a second 9 next to it, that's the double die action. Check the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If those letters seem like they've got a bit of a shadow or doubling, you found a rare one. You might need a magnifying glass or a microscope to get a closer look, but trust me, it's worth it. So, here's the deal, if you come across a 1969 D penny, don't just toss it into the change jar. Take a moment to inspect it. If it's a double die, it could be worth a fortune. Remember, these coins are rare, and if you've got one, you're holding a piece of history, quite literally in your hands. Before I wrap up, I want to leave you with this: the world of rare coins is full of hidden treasures, and I'm here to help you find them. So if you want more tips on coins that could make you a millionaire, or at least make your piggy bank a little bit heavier, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications, so you never miss a chance to learn about the next big find. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on what we have coming up next. And hey, if you find a 1969 D penny and it's worth $1 million, don't forget to send me a thank you card. I'd love to hear about your success story. Alright, folks, today we're diving into a coin that might just make your jaw drop, and I mean that in the best way possible. You've probably got a few pennies lying around your house right now, maybe tucked away in a drawer or sitting at the bottom of a random jar. But have you ever looked at your 1987 pennies and thought, could this be worth $1.2 million? Stick around, because today we're talking about the 1987 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and trust me, you don't want to miss this. I know. You're probably thinking, there's no way a penny from 1987 could be worth that much. Well, buckle up, because I'm about to show you why this seemingly ordinary coin could be the treasure hiding in plain sight. Let's break it down. We all know the story of the Lincoln penny. It's been around forever, since 1909. That's over 100 years of pennies, my friends. But let's talk about the 1987 no-mint Mark penny, because that's the one that's got collectors buzzing, and here's why. In 1987, the US Mint was supposed to mark every coin with a mint mark, indicating where it was made: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. However, a rare mistake happened: a few pennies were struck without any mint mark. Normally, you'd see a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, but these 1987 pennies? Nada. Nothing. Zilch. So, what does that mean? Well, collectors love a good mistake. And I'm not talking about your high school prom photos, folks. We're talking about a mistake on a coin, and that's like hitting the jackpot in the world of numismatics. Now, not every 1987 penny without a mint mark is going to be worth a fortune. It has to be in excellent condition. Think about it, a penny that's been sitting in your pocket, getting banged around for 30 plus years probably won't fetch top dollar. But if you happen to find one of these beauties in pristine condition, like mint state or uncirculated, that's where the real money is. So, how much can you actually get for one of these rare pennies? Well, I've got good news. The current market value for a 1987 no-mint Mark penny in fantastic condition can fetch up to $1.2 million. Yeah, you heard that right, folks, that shiny little penny could potentially make you a millionaire. Imagine walking around with a coin that could be worth more than a car or even a house in some cases. That's nuts. Now, I know what you're thinking, but how do I know if my penny is worth this much? Well, here's the catch: you've got to check the condition. The better it looks, the better the price. That means no scratches, no wear, and definitely no fingerprints on it. Keep it nice and safe, because these pennies don't just grow on trees. And if you don't know what to look for, here's a little trick: if your penny looks almost brand new, like it's fresh out of the mint, it could be a candidate. It's that simple. But don't get too excited just yet. A lot of folks think they've found a gold mine, but remember, you've got to have the right condition and the right buyer. So, do your research, and if you think you've got one, get it appraised by a professional. I've actually been on the hunt for these pennies for years. One time, I spent an entire afternoon going through a jar of pennies my grandma gave me, convinced I'd find the next big thing. I even asked her if she'd seen any 1987 pennies with no mint mark. She looked at me like I was crazy, but hey, sometimes you've gotta ask. Spoiler alert, I didn't find anything worth $1,000,000, but it was a good reminder that coins like this don't just fall into your lap. It takes time, patience, and a little bit of luck. So, what's the takeaway here? Keep your eyes peeled for those little treasures hidden in plain sight. You might just find that 1987 no mint mark penny sitting in your collection, waiting to make you a fortune. But don't forget the key: condition, condition, condition. And remember, even though it's worth a ton of money, it's not going to be worth that much if it's a little scuffed up. Now, I want you to take a look at your pennies. You never know what you might find. And if you happen to stumble upon a gem like this, let me know. I want to hear all about your coin discoveries. And hey, while you're here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell for more tips on valuable coins, strategies for finding hidden treasures, and all the latest coin news. Trust me, you don't want to miss what we've got coming next. Host, you could be one click away from discovering your own $1,000,000 penny. Go ahead and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts. Imagine this: you're digging through your old change jar, half-heartedly hoping to find something cool, maybe a rare quarter or a silver dime. But what if I told you that, sitting right there, is a 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1.3 million? That's right, this tiny little copper coin could make you a millionaire. Stick around, because in this video, we're diving into the mystery of this penny, its crazy value, and how you can spot a coin that could be worth more than your car or even your house. So, grab your magnifying glasses, get comfy, and let's talk about the 1993 no mint mark penny and why it's so valuable. But before we dive in, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get all the latest tips on coins that could make you rich. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, let's address the elephant in the room. A penny. A single cent. That thing you throw away without a second thought, right? I mean, most of us would rather toss it in a jar or, if you're like me, let it pile up in your cup holder until you can't find space for your coffee mug. But let me tell you, there are pennies out there that can make you richer than a treasure hunter finding a chest of gold. And the 1993 no mint mark Lincoln penny is one of those rare treasures. And now, you might be asking, what makes a 1993 penny worth $1.3 million? Well, my friends, it's all about rarity and the right condition. Most pennies minted in 1993 came from the Philadelphia Mint, and they all have the P Mint mark to prove it. But, here's the kicker: some pennies, just a handful, didn't have the mint mark at all. They were accidentally struck without the P, making them super rare. And when a penny like that is in mint condition, we're talking big money. We're talking $1.30 million, but how can you tell if your penny is one of those rare, unmarked gems? Here's where the fun begins. Let's break it down. Grab your coin and take a good look at the back. The penny should have no mint mark under the United States of America text. Now, you might be thinking, wait, my penny has a mint mark, is that bad? Not necessarily, but it's definitely not a $1,000,000 coin. If it's missing the mint mark, now you're talking business. You also want to check the condition. A coin in excellent condition can fetch a much higher price than one that's worn out and battered. So, if your 1993 penny looks like it's been through a washing machine, it's probably not worth much more than face value. But, if it's clean, shiny, and in mint condition, you might just have something special. Here's a little personal story. A while back, I was at a coin show. Yeah, I'm that nerdy, but I promise, it's a good story, and I spotted a guy who was showing off a 1993 penny he found in his pocket change. It didn't have a mint mark. I was curious, so I asked him how much he thought it was worth. He said, I don't know, maybe a couple of bucks? I nearly choked on my soda. I gently informed him, my friend, that penny could be worth over $1,000,000. Now, he didn't believe me at first, but after doing some research, he was floored. Moral of the story: you never know what's hiding in your pocket change. Keep an eye out. Let's talk about why these errors happen. Minting is a pretty complicated process, and sometimes, things just slip through the cracks. A mint mark gets missed, and boom, you've got a $1,000,000 coin. It's crazy how something so simple, like a tiny P stamp, can make such a huge difference in value. Another thing to keep in mind is the market for these coins. Collectors and investors go nuts over coins with minting errors, especially when they're as rare as the 1993 no-mint mark penny. So, if you find one, don't just assume it's worth a fortune. Get it appraised by a professional or send it in for grading to really find out how much it could fetch. Also, remember that coins like this can fluctuate in value over time. The coin market is a bit like the stock market, it goes up and down based on demand, condition, and the overall economy. So, while $1.3 million might be the current value, in a few years, it could be worth more or less. But hey, either way, it's still a lot of money. So, to wrap it up, if you've got a 1993 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, you could be sitting on a gold mine. But before you start planning your beach vacation, make sure you're certain it's the real deal. Check for that missing mint mark, assess the condition, and get it graded if necessary. Who knows? You could be the next big coin collector to strike it rich. And hey, if you're thinking, wow, I need to start paying more attention to my change, you're not alone. I've been there, too. But don't worry, I've got you covered. Make sure to subscribe to this channel for more tips on rare coins and valuable finds that could be worth a small fortune. I've got all kinds of tips coming your way, and you definitely don't want to miss out, so go ahead, hit that subscribe button, share this video with your friends, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin or if you're now scouring your pocket change like a treasure hunter. We're diving into a penny that's worth more than $1 million. Yep, you heard that right, a 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny valued at a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. If you're like me, you've probably spent one of these on a soda without a second thought. Well, buckle up because after this, you might start inspecting every single coin in your wallet like a treasure hunter with a magnifying glass. Let me share a quick story before we dig in. A few years ago, I was at a gas station, and the cashier handed me some change. I remember thinking, what's the point of these pennies? They're basically useless. Little did I know, one of those pennies could have been $1 million jackpot. Moral of the story? Don't underestimate your pocket change, it could pay off your mortgage. So, let's break down what makes the 2009 Lincoln penny so special, how to identify it, and why collectors are willing to drop big bucks on something most people would toss into a tip jar first. Let's talk about what makes the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny unique. This coin was minted to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. Instead of the usual Lincoln memorial on the back, these pennies have 4 distinct designs depicting different stages of Lincoln's life. Now, here's where it gets spicy. The specific coin we're talking about today is from the Denver Mint, or the D Mint mark. But not just any 2009 D penny will do. The ones worth big bucks have rare minting errors, like doubled dies, off-center strikes, or planchets made of the wrong material. These errors make collectors go absolutely bonkers. So, why is this penny worth $1.4 million? It's all about scarcity and demand. In the coin world, the rarer the error, the higher the value. Think of it like Pokemon cards but way nerdier and potentially way more lucrative. The 2009 D Lincoln penny we're talking about has a particularly rare die crack that gives it an almost artistic flair, like Lincoln is smirking. And collectors love a good story behind their coins. And now, before you run to your piggy bank and start dumping it out, let's go over how to spot one. First, look for the D Mint mark under the date. Then, examine the penny closely under a magnifying glass or a loupe. Look for any irregularities, double lines on the text or image, strange bumps, or any misalignments. If you think you found something, get it professionally graded. You don't want to accidentally spend $1 million penny on a cup of coffee because you thought it looked kinda cool. Did you know Abraham Lincoln was the first historical figure to appear on a US coin? He made his debut on the penny back in 1909. That means Lincoln's been sitting in our pockets and under couch cushions for over a century. And now, one of his pennies is worth more than some people's houses. Honest Abe would be proud, or at least very confused. Alright, so here's the bottom line, always check your change. That penny jingling around in your car's cup holder might just be worth $1.4 million. And hey, even if you don't find a rare penny, the hunt itself can be pretty fun. It's like a mini lottery ticket you don't even have to buy. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be dropping more tips and tricks on spotting valuable coins and other hidden treasures. Who knows? The next video could help you uncover a $5 million nickel or a $10 million quarter. And remember, in the world of coin collecting, it pays to be a little nosy with your spare change. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting! See you in the next video. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and accidental treasure hunters. Imagine finding a coin in your pocket change that's worth, wait for it, a whopping $1 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, buckle up because today, we're diving into the incredible story of the 1980 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that could make you rich enough to finally buy all the snacks you want at the movies without hesitation. Spoiler alert, it's all about knowing what to look for. So, what's the deal with this magical penny? Let's break it down. First, a little coin history for you. Most US pennies have a mint mark, like D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco, to show where they were made. But if you've got a 1980 penny without a mint mark, that means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, these aren't rare, but there's a twist. Some of these 1980 no-mint mark pennies were struck with errors or unique characteristics, and collectors are going wild for them. It's like Pokemon cards but for grown-ups with a love for copper and zinc. Now, before you rush to the couch cushions or start raiding your grandpa's coin jar, let's get specific. The 1980 no-mint mark penny in question needs to be in pristine condition, like shiny, untouched, straight from the mint condition. These high-grade coins are graded by experts and are known as MS68 or higher on the Sheldon scale. Think of it as the coin equivalent of a model walking the red carpet at the Oscars. Let me tell you about the time I almost thought I struck it rich. Picture this: I was cleaning out an old shoebox from my childhood. Why did I keep so many random rocks? And I found a penny from 1980. My heart skipped a beat. No mint mark? Check. I googled it and was halfway to imagining myself on a beach sipping fancy coconut drinks, but then I realized my penny had been through some tough times. It was scratched, dull, and had probably spent a few years in the bottom of a gas station parking lot. So close, yet so far. Moral of the story? Condition matters. My dreams of instant riches vanished, but hey, at least I didn't end up on one of those reality shows where people try to sell junk to pawn shops. Now, let's get to the juicy part. Why is this coin worth $1 million? It all comes down to rarity and demand. The fewer coins there are in mint condition, the more collectors are willing to pay. A perfectly preserved 1980 no-mint mark penny recently sold at auction for $1 million because it was essentially flawless and a coveted piece for serious collectors. Think of it this way: collectors are like treasure hunters, and these pennies are their holy grail. It's the same reason people pay outrageous amounts for rare sneakers or vintage action figures. Everyone wants to own a piece of history, especially if it shines like new. Here's a fun fact for you: a penny isn't even made entirely of copper anymore. Since 1982, pennies have been mostly zinc with just a thin layer of copper. So technically, that shiny 1980 penny you're hunting is a real classic, like the original Star Wars trilogy, but in coin form. And hey, if you find one, think of all the things you could do with $1 million. Buy a mansion? Sure. Pay off student loans? Definitely. Or, my personal favorite, finally replace that one pair of socks that mysteriously keeps disappearing in the laundry. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1980 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a tiny treasure with $1 million punch. Remember, the key is condition, rarity, and a little bit of luck. So next time you're sifting through your change, take a closer look. Who knows? You might just find your golden, well, copper ticket. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on spotting valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I'll be sharing more secrets, stories, and strategies to help you turn pocket change into serious cash. And hey, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or just want to share your own penny story. Hey there, coin lovers! Do you have a 1975 Lincoln penny sitting in your jar of change? Well, what if I told you that little copper coin could be worth a whopping $1 million? Yep, you heard me right, $1 million. Before you run off to dig through your drawers, let's talk about why this penny could be more valuable than your old Nintendo games or that 90s Beanie Baby collection. Stick around because, by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why you should be giving that penny a second look. Ready? Let's jump in. So, you're probably asking, what makes a 1975 penny so special? Well, the answer is in the details. When most people think of valuable coins, they think of rare dates, mint marks, and sometimes even the famous error coins, and the 1975 Lincoln penny definitely falls into that category. But before we get all deep into the world of rare coins, let's take a minute to appreciate the good old Lincoln penny. For context, the Lincoln penny was first introduced in 1909, and over the years, it's gone through some pretty cool changes. You know, like how Lincoln got that shiny beard, and the design's been updated to honor his legacy. But the 1975 penny, in particular, is where things get interesting now. You're probably familiar with the fact that US coins come with mint marks, right? Those little letters that tell you where the coin was produced? You know, like D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and P for Philadelphia. Well, here's where it gets fun. In 1975, there was a specific batch of pennies that were struck without any mint mark, meaning they came from the Philadelphia Mint. But here's the catch: these particular pennies were super rare, making them special in the world of coin collectors. So rare, in fact, that a mint condition 1975 no mint mark penny could fetch you around $1 million. Great question. It's all about rarity, demand, and condition. You see, during the 1975 production year, the US Mint was cranking out a ton of pennies, over several billion of them. And while most of those pennies have circulated and are worth their face value, a few got struck with errors. These are the coins collectors dream about. The Mint was making a ton of changes to coin designs and production methods, and some pennies slipped through the cracks with no mint mark. But here's the kicker: not all 1975 no mint mark pennies are worth $1 million. You've gotta have a pristine example. That means minimal wear and tear, no scratches, no discoloration, no weird dents from when your dog decided to chew on your coin collection. You need a clean, sharp, well-maintained penny to really unlock that value. So, if you happen to have one of these rare pennies in perfect condition, you're looking at a hefty payday. Here's a funny thing: I actually found a 1975 penny in my spare change not too long ago. I got all excited, thinking I was about to make my fortune, but after a closer inspection, and some Googling, I realized it was just a regular OL penny. But hey, it was a good laugh, and it reminded me that even if your coin isn't worth $1 million, it's the hunt that makes this hobby so fun. Plus, there are plenty of other coins out there worth big money, and I'm here to help you spot them. Alright, you're probably wondering, how do these pennies actually end up being so valuable? Well, there are two main reasons. First, we've got the rarity factor. Remember how I mentioned billions of pennies were minted that year? But only a small fraction were without a mint mark. That makes the ones without the mint mark rare and harder to find. Then there's the collector's demand side. Coin collectors are always on the lookout for unique pieces, coins that have historical value, errors, or just an interesting backstory. When a coin like this comes up for sale, collectors flock to get their hands on it, pushing the price up. And that's how you end up with a coin that can fetch $1 million. A little fun fact for you: the highest known sale of a 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny was for $1.2 million. So, yeah, it's possible. But like I said before, not every penny from 1975 is gonna make you a millionaire, so don't get too carried away just yet. So, now you know the basics behind the 1975 no mint mark Lincoln penny. If you happen to find one, it could be worth up to $1 million, but you've got to make sure it's in top-notch condition, and that's no easy feat. So, keep your eyes peeled, check your pennies, and any change, really, and be sure to look for those mint mark errors. Who knows? You might just be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. Before I let you go, here's the deal: coin collecting is all about learning, staying patient, and knowing where to look. If you enjoyed this video and want to keep getting the inside scoop on valuable coins, strategies for spotting rare finds, and more tips to make sure you're not leaving money on the table, hit that subscribe button and join our coin-loving crew. You don't want to miss what I've got coming up next. Camera zooms in for emphasis, and hey, if you happen to find $1 million penny, let me know. Maybe I'll come over and celebrate with you. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep hunting, keep collecting, and who knows what treasure you'll find next. See you in the next video. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, nah, this little thing isn't worth much? Well, think again. You might be sitting on a goldmine without even knowing it. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 1961 D-Mint mark Lincoln penny, a coin that's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yep, you heard that right, $1 million. But how? Why? And most importantly, how do you find one? Trust me, after watching this, you might want to start checking your penny jar or the dusty old change drawer at the bottom of your couch. So, let's get into it. Alright, first things first, what exactly makes the 1961 penny worth so much money? Isn't a penny just, well, a penny? Here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. Sure, most of them are worth only 1 cent. But some? Some are rare. And the 1961 Lincoln penny? It's one of those rare gems that has captivated collectors for decades. It's not just any regular old coin from the 60s, this penny has something special. But before we go any deeper, let me take you back to when I first heard about these $1 million pennies. I was just starting to collect coins. This was back when I had a few extra dollars from my part-time job at a coffee shop. I know, fancy. I was at a coin shop, chatting with the owner, when he casually mentioned the 1961 penny. He told me that one of these coins could be worth a fortune. I thought he was joking, but after some research, I found out he wasn't kidding. That's when I started paying attention to my pennies. So, what's the big deal with the 1961 penny? Well, let me break it down for you. The D in the mint mark stands for Denver, where the coin was minted. In 1961, the US Mint released millions of pennies, but not all of them were made the same. Some were struck slightly off-center, and others had unusual characteristics, which made them stand out to collectors. The 1961 penny, when in perfect condition, is a real rarity, especially if it has a specific error, like a double die or a unique strike. Here's where it gets interesting. The value of these pennies depends a lot on their condition. If you're lucky enough to have a 1961 penny that's in mint condition, like super mint condition, then you're sitting on a serious treasure. You're talking about a coin worth upwards of $1 million at auction. That's the kind of money that could pay off your student loans, take a vacation, or better yet, buy you an entire collection of rare coins. But here's a twist, not every 1961 penny is worth that much. The ones that fetch big money are the ones with rare characteristics or errors. A well-worn 1961 penny is still going to be worth just 1 cent, or maybe a little more if you're lucky, but a pristine, rare one can fetch $1 million. Now, if you're thinking, I'm going to go check every single penny I've got, I don't blame you. That's what I did too. But let me save you some time. It's not just about having the coin, it's about having the right coin in the right condition. So, how do you tell if you've got one? Well, look for the following. You're looking for a coin with no scratches, no wear, and no discoloration. If you're holding it in your hand and you can still read the year and see the details clearly, that's a good sign. Look for double dies, where the design is stamped multiple times, or other unusual characteristics. These are the ones that make a coin super rare and, therefore, valuable. Make sure it's a real 1961 penny. You'd be surprised how many people try to trick buyers with fake coins, so always get it appraised by a professional if you think you've got something valuable. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I get my hands on one of these rare 1961 pennies? Well, they're out there, but you have to be diligent. Start by checking change in your pockets, your old coin jars, or even estate sales and auctions. And, of course, keep an eye out online. Sometimes you can snag one at a good price before other collectors catch on. Just don't go blowing your entire budget on a penny unless you're really sure it's the real deal. So, let me wrap this up by saying, the 1961 Lincoln penny is proof that the right coin can make you a millionaire, even if it's just a tiny little penny. It's all about knowing what to look for, understanding the rare characteristics that make it valuable, and keeping your eyes peeled for those once-in-a-lifetime finds. And, hey, if you're still unsure about whether you have one of these $1 million coins lying around, why not check? Trust me, if you happen to stumble upon one, you'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank. But remember, don't let the thrill of finding a rare penny overshadow the fun of the journey. Collecting coins is all about learning, exploring, and sharing in the excitement with others. Before I go, I have a challenge for you. Take a look at your coin jar or your spare change and see if you can find any of the rare pennies I've talked about today. And if you want more tips and tricks on how to spot coins that are worth a ton of money, be sure to hit that subscribe button right now. You don't want to miss out on future videos where we uncover more hidden treasures. Thanks for watching, and remember, collecting coins isn't just about the money. It's about the adventure. Catch you in the next one. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin worth more than you expected. Let's talk about it. You might just inspire the next great coin collector. There you have it. A fun, friendly, and informative 20-minute YouTube video script that will keep your viewers hooked from start to finish. Hey, fellow coin lovers! Did you know that a regular 2019 penny could be worth a whopping $1 million? Yes, you heard that right. This tiny copper coin, the size of a thumbnail, is worth more than some of the most expensive collector's items out there. But hold on, before you start digging through your spare change, let's talk about why this penny is so special, how you can spot one, and the crazy story behind it. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll be an expert in not just the 2019 penny, but how to spot valuable coins hiding in plain sight. So, here's the thing, not all pennies are created equal. You probably have a few 2019 pennies lying around, and they look normal, right? But there's one very specific thing that could set one of them apart from the rest. That little detail could turn it into a gold mine, or, in this case, a copper mine, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Grab your magnifying glass, and let's dive into why the 2019 no-mint mark penny is one of the most intriguing and valuable coins in circulation right now. Let's start with the basics. What is a no-mint mark penny? Mint marks are those little letters you find on your coins, usually next to the year, telling you which U.S. mint produced them. Normally, a penny will have a D for Denver, an S for San Francisco, or nothing at all for Philadelphia. But in 2019, there was something special about the Philadelphia pennies. They were made with no mint mark at all. And now, you might be wondering, what's so special about that? It's not like no mint mark pennies are rare, right? Well, technically, no. However, the 2019 no mint mark penny is unique for a few reasons. In 2019, the US Mint decided to do something a little different. They didn't put a mint mark on any of the pennies coming out of the Philadelphia Mint. That's right, there were no P mint marks. The thing is, mint marks had been a standard for years. So when collectors saw this, they thought, what's going on here? Is this an error? And that, my friends, is exactly what makes this coin worth $1 million, potentially. But let's go into how you can spot one of these little guys. First off, it's crucial to know that not every 2019 penny without a mint mark is valuable. To make sure you've got a real treasure on your hands, you need to check the condition. This penny needs to be in mint condition, think sharp details, bright copper, and no damage. It's also essential to remember that some of these pennies have made their way into circulation already. So, you could be lucky enough to find one in your pocket change, but most of these high-value coins have been hoarded by collectors who are holding on tight, waiting for their value to climb even higher. So don't just expect to stroll into a convenience store and find $1 million penny. That would be like winning the lottery on your morning coffee run. Unlikely, but not impossible. Here's a funny story from my own experience. One day, I was sifting through my change jar, thinking I might be sitting on a fortune. I pulled out a shiny 2019 penny, no mint mark. My heart skipped a beat. Could this be the one? But after inspecting it, I realized the penny had a little scratch on the edge. It wasn't in perfect condition, and let me tell you, folks, that's a big deal when it comes to coin collecting. You can't just hope for a big payout by finding a damaged penny. But that doesn't mean you should stop looking, because sometimes luck has a way of showing up when you least expect it. So, how do you actually make money off a 2019 no mint mark penny if you find one? Well, it all comes down to rarity and condition. The better the condition, the higher the value. And don't forget, authentication matters. Getting your coin graded by a professional can significantly increase its marketability. It's like getting a stamp of approval from an expert. Once graded, you can sell it at auctions or through trusted coin dealers. And now, if you're not quite sure where to sell your coin or how to get it graded, don't worry. There are plenty of online platforms and reputable coin dealers who are happy to take a look at your find and give you an idea of what it's worth. Just make sure to do your research to avoid getting scammed. Alright, folks, we've covered a lot today: why the 2019 no mint mark penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and what to do if you find one. If you're anything like me, you're probably now walking around your house checking every penny you can find, but remember, this is a long game. Finding one of these pennies is rare, and finding one in mint condition is even rarer. But here's the thing, this is just one example of coins that can be worth a lot of money. There are tons of other pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters out there that could make you a small fortune. And the best part is, you don't need to be a full-time coin collector to stumble upon these gems. If you're enjoying this journey into the world of valuable coins and want more tips on how to spot treasures in your spare change, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you don't miss out on future videos. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next, and remember, folks, keep on collecting, keep on searching, and who knows? The next time you reach into your pocket, you might just pull out your own $1 million penny. Hey there, coin collectors and curious minds. Hold on to your wallets, because today we're talking about a penny, yes, a single penny, that could be worth a cool $1 million. That's right, you heard me correctly. I know what you're thinking, a penny? $1 million? Is this guy pulling my leg? Well, let me assure you, this little copper beauty could be your ticket to the big leagues. So grab a snack, settle in, and let's dive into the mystery of the 2001 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Now, before you go searching through every jar of change you've got, let's break down why this coin could be worth so much. Trust me, it's not just magic, it's about rarity, history, and a little bit of luck. Alright, let's talk about the 2001 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, okay, it's just a penny, right? But here's where things get interesting. See, every US coin that's produced at one of the official mints, Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco, has a mint mark that tells you where it was made. Most of the time, you'll find the mint mark right there on the coin, typically under the date. But the 2001 penny, well, it's missing its mint mark. Now, I know what you're thinking, maybe it's just a misprint? And that's exactly it. The 2001 no-mint Mark penny was supposed to have a mint mark, but due to an error at the Philadelphia Mint, a bunch of them slipped through the cracks without one. Now, let's talk about how rare these coins really are. While the vast majority of 2001 pennies were produced with the P mint mark, there was a small batch that didn't make it. This tiny error means that there are only a few of these mintless coins out there, and they become the holy grail for coin collectors. How few, you ask? Well, estimates suggest that there might be only around 15 to 20 of these mintless wonders still floating around. Imagine this, a coin that's identical to every other 2001 penny you see in circulation, but it's missing one tiny detail, that little P on the back. And this tiny flaw could make it worth over $1 million. But don't go cashing in all your pennies just yet. Not every 2001 no-mint Mark penny is $1 million winner. You'll need to find one in excellent condition, ideally uncirculated, meaning it hasn't been tossed around in your pocket for years. And like any rare coin, the price can fluctuate based on demand. As with any investment, it's all about rarity and condition. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, I've got a jar of pennies at home, maybe I'll strike it rich. But let me tell you, it's a little more complicated than that. If you find one of these pennies, it could take some time and a bit of luck to verify if it's a true 2001 no-mint Mark penny. So, let's go over some tips on how to check if yours is the real deal. First, take a good look at the coin. No mint mark means that it was struck in Philadelphia, that's your key indicator. Next, check the condition of the coin. If it's shiny, crisp, and free from damage, then you're in business. But if it's all scratched up or dirty from years of living in your pocket, well, it might not make you a millionaire just yet. And don't forget the date. Make sure it's from 2001, not some other year. And here's the fun part, how do you find these rarities? Well, it's kind of like going treasure hunting. I remember when I found my first rare coin, it wasn't a penny, but it was a 1943 copper penny, and I thought I had hit the jackpot. I went to a coin dealer, practically running on adrenaline, only to learn it was a modern replica. Talk about a reality check. But hey, I learned a lot that day, and now I'm here to share these tips with you. If you're on the hunt for a 2001 no-mint Mark penny, make sure to check coin shops, online auctions, and even estate sales. Sometimes, people don't even realize what they've got. So, what's the takeaway here? Well, while a 2001 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is rare and could be worth a pretty penny, pun intended, don't expect to find one under your couch cushions. It takes a little bit of luck and a lot of knowledge. But hey, you never know, your next trip to the coin jar could lead to $1 million discovery. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new today. I've got plenty more tips on how to spot valuable coins, and you won't want to miss out on all the treasure hunting fun. Also, drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin, or if you're just on the lookout for your next big score. And who knows, maybe you'll find that elusive 2001 no-mint mark penny, and we'll all be celebrating your $1,000,000 discovery. Hey, everyone! Welcome back, old coins prices. So, I gotta ask, have you ever been scrolling through your change jar, thinking you've got nothing but pennies that are, well, worth just a penny? But then, bam, you come across something that makes your heart skip a beat. You flip it over and see the D mint mark, and for a moment, you're like, could this be the one? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of those pennies, the 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, you're probably thinking, 2020? Is that even worth anything? It's too new. And hey, I get it, this coin might not be as old as some of those legendary rare pennies, but trust me, this one has a hidden secret worth a cool $1.1 million. Yep, you heard that right. That shiny little penny could be worth serious money. So, let's jump in and find out why this coin could make you a fortune. Alright, before you start running off to check your pennies, let's break down why this 2020 D penny is special. First off, let's talk about its appearance. We're all familiar with the classic Lincoln penny. The design hasn't changed much since 1909 when it was first introduced, featuring our 16th president on the obverse. But what's really interesting about the 2020 D penny is the backstory behind its rise in value. Now, if you're a coin enthusiast or even just a casual collector, you know that certain mint marks can make a huge difference in the value of a coin. And the D mint mark on the 2020 penny, which stands for the Denver Mint, is where things get interesting. You see, it all starts with a production error. In 2020, the US Mint made a small but significant mistake when creating some of the Lincoln pennies. A particular batch of pennies had an extremely rare misstrike, making them incredibly hard to find in perfect condition. These coins are considered an error variety, and, as we know, errors can mean big bucks in the coin world. What sets this 2020 D apart is the combination of its rarity and the unique condition it can be found in. Most 2020 D pennies you come across are, well, just pennies. But if you find one of the error coins, you could be sitting on a gold mine. And here's the kicker, even though it's a 2020 coin, people are snapping them up at auctions and listings for around $1.1 million, with some even selling for more depending on their condition and grade. Now, I know what you're thinking, okay, so how do I know if I have one of these $1,000,000 pennies? Well, the key is to look for certain details. The first thing you'll want to check is the strike quality. If the coin has a noticeable flaw or unusual features, like a doubled die or a missing design element, it's worth holding on to. And of course, if you ever come across a penny that looks like it's in mint condition, well, that's your golden ticket. Speaking of looking for rare coins, let me share a quick personal story. A few years back, I found what I thought was a regular penny at the bottom of my couch cushions. Yeah, you know that treasure hunt we all do. I tossed it into my coin jar without thinking much of it. But then, a few weeks later, I was chatting with a buddy of mine who's a huge coin collector. He was talking about all these crazy finds and how even newer coins can be worth something if they're in good condition or have some sort of minting error. So, I pulled that penny out of my jar, took a closer look, and, no joke, it turned out to be a 1998 penny in mint condition with some subtle but noticeable flaws. That penny ended up being worth a couple $100. Ever since then, I've been a lot more careful about my change. If you're wondering if you should start checking your coins just like I did, the answer is absolutely yes. Coins like the 2020 D can turn up in places you'd never expect. You might even find one while doing something as simple as cleaning out your wallet or going through old receipts. So, here's the deal, don't just brush off those pennies as worthless. You never know when you'll stumble upon a treasure like the 2020 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, especially with a market value of $1.1 million. Imagine that you could find one in your spare change, and suddenly, your life might change. Okay, maybe not overnight, but definitely with a nice chunk of change in your pocket. Before I sign off, here's the most important thing I want you to remember. Check your coins, especially those with a mint mark, and make sure to do a little research on any you find. The world of rare coins is huge, and you'd be surprised at what you might discover. And hey, if you love learning about rare coins that could make you a fortune, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll be sharing more tips, strategies, and updates on coins worth money. You don't want to miss out on the next big find, right? So go ahead, like this video, share it with a friend who's always digging through their pockets, and drop a comment below if you found any rare coins yourself. And as always, happy coin hunting. Alright, folks, that's it for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and remember, you never know what treasure's waiting in your change jar. See you next time, and don't forget to subscribe for more coin tips and valuable finds. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters. Imagine this: you're casually flipping through a jar of pennies, just trying to find a few to toss into your piggy bank, and then bam, you find one that could be worth over $1 million. Yep, we're talking about the 1998 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. That shiny little copper coin could have you sitting on a small fortune now. Before you go digging through your couch cushions or raiding the change jar at the back of your car, let me walk you through why this penny is such a big deal and how you might just have one of these rare gems hiding in your collection. Stick around till the end because I've got some tips on how to spot this little powerhouse, and how to make sure you're getting the best price for it if you decide to cash in. Let's dive in. Now, we all know the Lincoln penny. It's been a staple of American currency for over a century. But in 1998, something unusual happened. The US Mint released a batch of pennies that didn't have a mint mark. Normally, pennies made in Denver have a D mint mark, and those made in Philadelphia either have no mark, for regular production, or an S, for proof coins. But 1998? No mint mark on some of those bad boys, and here's where the magic happens. This error made these coins incredibly rare, and as it turns out, some of them are worth a ton of money, around $1.2 million to be exact. I know, you're probably sitting there thinking, wait, what? A penny that's worth $1 million? Yep. This particular penny is so valuable because of a couple of reasons. First, it's super rare. There weren't that many 1998 pennies produced without a mint mark. The mint mark is an identifier that helps collectors distinguish where a coin was made: Denver, Philadelphia, or San Francisco. Without it, a 1998 penny becomes like a mysterious ghost, and as you know, the more mysterious something is, the more valuable it can become in the world of coin collecting. It's like finding the last elusive Pokemon in your game. Everyone wants it. Now, let's talk about how these pennies end up fetching such a high price. Coin collectors, especially those looking for rare varieties or minting errors, are constantly hunting for these elusive coins. When a mistake like this happens, they get scooped up quickly by collectors who know the true value. Plus, the 1998 no-mint mark pennies are often found in excellent condition, which adds even more value to the coin. The better the condition, the higher the price. If you're like me, you probably have that one jar of loose change at home that's been collecting dust for years. I'll be honest, I've found coins that I thought were super rare, only to realize they're worth, well, nothing more than the copper they're made of. But that's all part of the fun. You never know what you might find, right? I remember the first time I stumbled upon a coin that I thought was going to make me a millionaire. I was digging through my drawer, minding my own business, when I found an old nickel that I was convinced had to be worth something crazy. I Googled it. I thought it was the holy grail of nickels. Long story short, turns out it was just a regular nickel. But hey, you live and learn. So, I decided to keep searching, and that's when I found my first true rare coin, and that's exactly why you need to take a closer look at your pennies. You never know when you're going to find one of those golden, or should I say copper, opportunities like the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. So, how do you know if you've got one of these gems? Well, it's all about looking at the coin carefully and checking for that missing mint mark. If you have a 1998 penny without any mint mark, it's time to break out the magnifying glass and take a closer look. You want to see if it's in good condition too. A coin in great shape, with sharp details and no signs of wear, is what you're looking for. You could be holding onto something that'll make your wallet a whole lot heavier, but remember, condition matters here. A 1998 no-mint mark penny that's been tossed around, dinged up, or is covered in dirt will be worth far less than one in mint or near mint condition. A well-preserved penny, one that looks fresh out of a coin roll, will have that $1 million potential. So, there you have it, the 1998 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, a true hidden treasure that could be worth $1.2 million. If you find one, you could be sitting on a small fortune now. I know what you're thinking. Okay, I'm running to the coin jar right now. But don't rush just yet. Check the condition of your pennies and look for that missing mint mark. If you find one of these elusive gems, congratulations. But if you don't worry. Keep hunting. Coin collecting is all about patience, persistence, and a little bit of luck. And if you want more tips and insider secrets on how to spot coins that could be worth a ton of money, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'm constantly sharing updates on rare coins, tips for collectors, and stories like the one I just shared about my nickel mishap. You never know, the next episode could have the coin that turns your collection into a fortune. Hey, coin enthusiasts! What if I told you that somewhere, possibly hidden in the depths of your drawer, could be a coin worth over $1 million? Sounds like the beginning of a treasure hunt, right? Well, you're in for a treat today because we're diving into one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies that you've probably never heard of, the 1986 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Now, I know what you're thinking, a penny? $1 million penny? Yes, you heard that right. A coin worth $1.3 million, and it's sitting out there somewhere in circulation. So, grab your magnifying glass, your coin collection, and maybe even your lucky penny, if you have one, because this is going to be one fun ride. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare gem and whether you've struck it rich without even realizing it. Let's dive in. Alright, let's break this down. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. In fact, it's one of those rare coins that could make you a lot of money if you find it. First, let's talk about what a no-mint Mark penny actually is. Mint marks are small letters that indicate where the coin was made. Most of us are familiar with the D4 Denver or the S4 San Francisco, right? But the 1986 penny? It's got no mint mark at all. That's because it was supposed to have been made in Philadelphia, where they don't put mint marks on pennies, unlike other coins. But, and here's the kicker, sometimes these coins were accidentally released into circulation without a mint mark, and that's what makes them so valuable today. Now, how did we get to the $1.3 million mark? Well, when you combine rarity with demand, things get interesting. The 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny is rare because there were only a few thousand of them made, and they didn't even know it at the time. So, it's kind of like finding a hidden gem, a diamond in a sea of copper. This coin is a perfect example of how a seemingly insignificant detail, like the absence of a mint mark, can make a huge difference in a coin's value. Now, let me tell you a funny story about how I got into coin hunting. A few years ago, I was sifting through a box of loose change that I found in the back of my car. Don't judge me, we all have that one drawer of random coins. I was about to toss a bunch of pennies into a jar when one coin caught my eye. It didn't look any different than the others, but I decided to look at it a little closer. Turns out, it was a 1969 penny that ended up being worth a small fortune. I could hardly believe it, and my heart skipped a beat. This experience taught me to never underestimate the value of those pennies, no matter how worn down they might look. So, if you ever find a 1986 no-mint Mark penny in your stash, don't just toss it aside. Get a magnifying glass, check the coin's edges, and make sure you don't have one of these rarities. Okay, now let's talk about the condition. If the coin is in great shape, it can fetch the jaw-dropping price of $1.3 million. But even if it's not perfect, don't worry. Coins in less than perfect condition are still worth a lot more than a regular penny. So, keep your eyes peeled, check those old jars, and maybe even ask Grandma if she has any hidden treasures tucked away. You might be thinking, okay, this sounds too good to be true. Are there any fakes? Great question. Yep, there are counterfeit versions of this rare penny floating around, so it's important to get your coin professionally graded and authenticated before you start dreaming about your new yacht. You can get your coins graded by services like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. But here's the kicker, if you find a real 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, and it's in great shape, you could be looking at serious cash in your hands. We're talking a potential $1.3 million. So, keep checking those pennies and, who knows, maybe you'll be the next big coin collector to hit the jackpot. Alright, coin lovers, that's the scoop on the 1986 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny and why it could be the coin that changes your life. I know, it sounds like a fantasy, but it's real. So, the next time you're going through your change, take a second to check out those pennies. You never know, you might just hold the key to a fortune right in your hand. And now, before you go running off to dig through your coin collection, I want to make sure you don't miss out on any future tips, tricks, and coin stories. If you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about coins that could make you rich, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. You don't want to miss the next hidden gem we uncover together, and, hey, if you've got any coins lying around that you're curious about, drop them in the comments, and I'll give you my best advice on what they're worth. Who knows? You might just have a penny or two worth more than a snack at the vending machine. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep on hunting, keep on collecting, and who knows, your next treasure could be just one coin away. Alright, quick question, when was the last time you actually looked at the pennies in your pocket? I'm guessing, never, right? Because, let's be honest, it's just a penny. What could possibly be interesting about that? Well, buckle up, because today we're talking about a penny, yes, just one penny, that's worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. You heard me right, folks, $1.4 million for a little coin that might be sitting in your piggy bank right now, so grab a magnifying glass, maybe a flashlight, and join me as we uncover the surprising value of the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny. And I'll even throw in a personal story about the time I almost threw away a small fortune, but more on that later. Let's dive in. So, what's the deal with this 2009 penny? Why is it so special? Well, first off, this isn't just any penny. It's a part of the Lincoln Bicentennial series, released to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday. You know, Honest Abe, the guy who's literally on the penny. Here's the twist, in 2009, the US Mint got fancy and released 4 different designs on the reverse side of the penny. They tell the story of Lincoln's life, from his humble beginnings in a log cabin to his career as a lawyer, and finally, his time in Washington, D.C. Cool, right, but one particular version of this coin has become the holy grail for collectors, the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny with the Denver Mint mark. This bad boy has a unique error in its production that makes it one of the rarest coins out there. And if you've got one? Congrats, you're practically a millionaire. Let's talk details. The reason this penny is worth $1.4 million is because of a very specific error, a double die. Basically, during the minting process, the die that stamps the coin shifted slightly, creating a doubling effect on some of the letters or images, and here's the kicker, this error is super hard to spot with the naked eye. You'll need a magnifying glass or a loupe. The most common places to look? The date, 2009, or the letters in United States of America. If they look a little funky, like they're blurry or shadowed, you might just have a winner. Now, before you start flipping over every penny in sight, let me hit you with some friendly advice. Not all 2009 Lincoln pennies are valuable. Most are just worth, well, a penny. But if you find one with that minting error, congratulations, you've hit the coin lottery. Alright, story time. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, you know, the black hole where old receipts, paper clips, and random coins go to die. I came across a pile of pennies and, like any responsible adult, I was about to toss them in the Coinstar machine, but something caught my eye. One of the pennies looked weird. The date was kind of fuzzy. So I googled it, spent 20 minutes squinting at it with a flashlight, and realized it might be one of those double die pennies. Long story short, it wasn't. But that experience taught me one thing: always check your coins. You never know what you might find. Now, let's say you find a 2009 penny and think it might be valuable. What's next? Step 1, get a magnifying glass. Don't have one? Borrow one from your neighbor's kid or grab a cheap one online. Look closely at the date, mint mark, and lettering. If you see anything unusual, take some clear photos. Consult an expert. You can either visit a coin dealer or join a coin collecting group online. Trust me, these folks are way more knowledgeable than your uncle who swears he has a rare nickel from 1978. And finally, step 4, if your coin is legit, get it graded. A professional coin grading service will give it an official value, and that's when the big bucks come rolling in. So, what's the moral of the story? Don't underestimate your loose change. That little penny sitting in your pocket right now could be the ticket to early retirement, a dream vacation, or, I don't know, maybe just an absurdly fancy coffee habit. Before I go, let me ask you this: have you ever found a coin or collectible worth big money? If so, I want to hear about it. Drop your stories in the comments below, maybe we can all learn a thing or two. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got tons more tips and tricks coming your way about coins, collectibles, and how to find hidden treasures in the most unexpected places. Thanks for watching, and happy treasure hunting! Who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth $1.4 million. See you next time. Hey there, treasure hunters. Ever thought the change jingling in your pocket could be worth a small fortune? Well, grab your magnifying glasses and coffee because today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin that could be hiding a $1 million payday right in plain sight. And trust me, you won't want to miss the story of how I almost spent a rare coin on a vending machine snack. Yeah, it happened. Alright, let's talk about this sneaky little coin. The 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny looks like any other penny you've tossed in a tip jar or left in your car's cup holder. But here's the kicker, it's anything but ordinary. Some of these coins are worth up to $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, $1 million. That's enough to quit your job, buy a house, or, let's be real, stockpile snacks for life. So what makes it so special? First, let's decode the no-mint mark thing. A no-mint mark simply means the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Normally, coins from Philadelphia don't have a mint mark, but in 2016, something went off script. A small batch of pennies was struck with a misaligned die, a technical hiccup that resulted in unique features like doubled images or weird lettering. Coin collectors love these kinds of quirks because they're super rare, and rarity equals value. I know, before you flip over every couch cushion in your house, let me hit you with a quick checklist. Here's what to look for and make sure it's a 2016 penny with no mint mark. Check for oddities, think doubled letters, distorted images, or even tiny cracks. If it looks unusual, get it authenticated by a professional coin grader. They're like the coin world's version of Simon Cowell, tough, but fair. Here's the thing, not every 2016 no mint mark penny is worth $1 million. Most are still, just a penny. But the ones that hit the jackpot? They're the Michael Jordan of coins. One of these pennies sold for $1 million at auction because of its flawless condition and rare error. That's the coin equivalent of finding out your grandma's old lamp is actually a priceless antique. Speaking of priceless moments, let me tell you about the time I almost spent a rare coin. Picture this, it's 2019, and I'm starving. I grab a penny from my desk to buy a bag of chips. Thankfully, a friend saw the coin and stopped me. Turns out, it was a rare 1955 double-die penny worth thousands of dollars. I was this close to trading it for Doritos. Lesson learned, always check your coins before you spend them. Moral of the story? Your pocket change might just be the ultimate plot twist. So, check those pennies carefully. You never know when one of them might fund your next vacation or your retirement. Alright, coin enthusiasts, that's the scoop on the 2016 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny. Could you have $1 million coin hiding in your wallet? There's only one way to find out, start searching. And if you do find one, don't forget who sent you down this rabbit hole, okay? Maybe name your yacht after me or something. Before you head off to dig through your piggy bank, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share it with your friends. Because who doesn't want to learn how to turn pocket change into a fortune? Plus, I'll be back with more tips on coins worth money, treasure hunting hacks, and stories from my own adventures. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever dug through their couch cushions hoping for a miracle. Imagine this, you're sorting through a handful of pennies, thinking they're all just, pennies. But bam, there it is, a 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million. Who knew Lincoln was packing more than wisdom on those coins? Now, before you run off to raid your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes this humble penny so extraordinary. I'm here to break it down, share some tips, sprinkle in a little humor, and maybe, just maybe, help you discover your own hidden treasure. First off, let's talk about what no-mint mark even means. Coins in 1967 were produced during a time when the U.S. Mint temporarily omitted mint marks as part of an anti-coin hoarding measure. So, if your penny doesn't have a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco, congratulations, it's part of that era. But here's the kicker, not all no-mint mark 1967 pennies are worth big bucks. It's about condition, rarity, and demand. Think of it like finding an original Star Wars action figure still in its packaging. Sure, it's cool to have one, but it's the pristine condition that makes collectors drool. Quick tip: look for pennies that appear uncirculated, those with sharp details, no scratches, and a shiny finish. That's the gold standard, or should I say, the copper standard. Okay, funny story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old dresser drawers. We found this jar of random coins. Like, seriously, who even uses jars anymore? Anyway, we dumped it out, and there were all kinds of coins, including a suspiciously shiny penny from 1967. I remember joking, "Watch this be worth $1 million." Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it was worth about $50, which we spent on pizza. Moral of the story? Even if your penny isn't a jackpot, it could still be worth a solid dinner. Let's get into the specifics. The $1 million valuation applies to pennies in perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher by experts. That means it looks like it just rolled off the minting press. The rarity, combined with collector demand, drives up the value. Imagine finding one of these pennies. It's like winning the lottery, except you didn't even have to buy a ticket. Collectors go wild for high-quality coins, and auctions can turn into bidding wars. So, if you think you have a mint-condition 1967 penny, it might be worth sending it to a professional grading service. Who knows? You might hit the coin collector jackpot now. You're probably thinking, how do I find one of these magical pennies? Easy: check your loose change, hit up flea markets and garage sales, ask grandparents or older relatives. They always have secret stashes of coins, and here's the trick: use good lighting and maybe even a magnifying glass. Trust me, squinting at pennies in the dark will not make you rich, it'll just give you a headache. Fun fact: I once spent 15 minutes staring at a penny, convinced I had a rare coin, only to realize it was just dirty. Turns out, a little soap and water revealed a 2020 penny. So, yeah, sometimes the thrill of the hunt is just that, a thrill. But hey, it's still fun. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be the most exciting penny you've ever heard of. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just getting started, this is proof that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, even in your spare change. Now, here's the deal: if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more coin tips, collector strategies, and hidden treasure stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a 1967 penny or any cool coin, drop a comment below. Let's see who can uncover the next $1 million find. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and anyone who's ever dug through their couch cushions hoping for a miracle. Imagine this: you're sorting through a handful of pennies, thinking they're all just, well, pennies. But bam, there it is, a 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth a whopping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. $1 million. Who knew Lincoln was packing more than wisdom on those coins? Hop now, before you run off to raid your piggy bank, let's dive into what makes this humble penny so extraordinary. I'm here to break it down, share some tips, sprinkle in a little humor, and maybe, just maybe, help you discover your own hidden treasure. First off, let's talk about what no-mint mark even means. Coins in 1967 were produced during a time when the US Mint temporarily omitted mint marks as part of an anti-coin hoarding measure. So, if your penny doesn't have a little D for Denver or S for San Francisco, congratulations, it's part of that era. But here's the kicker: not all no-mint mark 1967 pennies are worth big bucks. It's about condition, rarity, and demand. Think of it like finding an original Star Wars action figure still in its packaging. Sure, it's cool to have one, but it's the pristine condition that makes collectors drool. Quick tip: look for pennies that appear uncirculated, those with sharp details, no scratches, and a shiny finish. That's the gold standard, or should I say, the copper standard. Okay, funny story time. A few years ago, I was helping my grandma clean out her old dresser drawers. We found this jar of random coins. Like, seriously, who even uses jars anymore? Anyway, we dumped it out, and there were all kinds of coins, including a suspiciously shiny penny from 1967. I remember joking, "Watch this be worth $1 million." Spoiler alert, it wasn't. But it was worth about $50, which we spent on pizza. Moral of the story? Even if your penny isn't a jackpot, it could still be worth a solid dinner. Let's get into the specifics. The $1 million valuation applies to pennies in perfect condition, graded MS67 or higher by experts. That means it looks like it just rolled off the minting press. The rarity, combined with collector demand, drives up the value. Imagine finding one of these pennies, it's like winning the lottery, except you didn't even have to buy a ticket. Collectors go wild for high-quality coins, and auctions can turn into bidding wars. So, if you think you have a mint-condition 1967 penny, it might be worth sending it to a professional grading service. Who knows? You might hit the coin collector jackpot now. You're probably thinking, how do I find one of these magical pennies? Easy, check your loose change, hit up flea markets and garage sales, ask grandparents or older relatives, they always have secret stashes of coins, and here's the trick, use good lighting and maybe even a magnifying glass. Trust me, squinting at pennies in the dark will not make you rich, it'll just give you a headache. Fun fact, I once spent 15 minutes staring at a penny, convinced I had a rare coin, only to realize it was just dirty. Turns out, a little soap and water revealed, a 2020 penny. So, yeah, sometimes the thrill of the hunt is just that, a thrill. But hey, it's still fun. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln penny might just be the most exciting penny you've ever heard of. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone who's just getting started, this is proof that treasure can be hiding in plain sight even in your spare change. Now, here's the deal, if you enjoyed this video and want to learn more about valuable coins, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. I've got more coin tips, collector strategies, and hidden treasure stories coming your way. And hey, if you find a 1967 penny or any cool coin, drop a comment below. Let's see who can uncover the next $1 million find. Hey there, treasure hunters. Imagine this, you're digging through your couch cushions for loose change, and boom! You stumble upon a penny that could change your life. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're talking about the 2016 mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a jaw-dropping $1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a single penny worth $1 million. Don't go running to check your jar of coins just yet, though stick with me, and I'll break down everything you need to know about this tiny treasure. But first, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a rare coin without even realizing it. Trust me, you don't want to make the same mistake. Spoiler alert, it involves a coffee shop, a barista with eagle eyes, and a latte I definitely didn't need. Alright, let's dive into the nitty-gritty of why this little penny is making such big waves in the coin collecting world. Let's start with the basics. The 2016 mint Mark Lincoln penny comes from the Denver Mint, hence the D mark. At first glance, it looks just like any other penny. Same old Honest Abe on the front, and the iconic shield design on the back. So, what makes this particular penny worth a fortune? 2 words, minting errors. These are like the golden tickets of the coin world. Sometimes, the minting machines mess up, and instead of tossing out the flawed coins, a few sneak into circulation. The 2016 penny we're talking about has one of these rare errors, and collectors are willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on it. Now, here's the kicker. The error on this penny is a doubled die. This means certain parts of the design, like Lincoln's profile or the lettering, appear slightly doubled. It's like the penny had one too many espressos while being minted. This tiny imperfection is what makes it so valuable, and before you ask, yes, you'll need a magnifying glass to spot it. Or, if you're like me, you'll squint so hard your neighbors will think you're trying to start a staring contest with your coins. Let me tell you about a collector who found one of these pennies. He was a college student working part-time at a gas station. One day, while counting change, he noticed something odd about a penny. Long story short, he sold it at an auction for nearly $1 million and paid off his student loans in one go. Talk about hitting the jackpot. So, how do you know if you've got the golden, or rather, copper, ticket? First, grab all your 2016 pennies. Check the date, mint mark, and design details under bright light. If you spot anything unusual, congratulations. You might have a mini fortune in your hands, and hey, even if your penny turns out to be just a regular one, don't feel bad. It's still worth 1 cent, which is more than you'll get for that dryer lint you were about to throw away. Speaking of pennies, have you ever stopped to think about how many of them are hiding in random places? I once found a penny stuck to the bottom of my dog's food bowl. Turns out, my dog is better at finding treasure than I am. Alright, folks, let's wrap this up. The 2016 mint Mark Lincoln penny is proof that big things really do come in small packages. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just someone who loves a good treasure hunt, it's worth taking a closer look at your pocket change. Who knows? That humble penny might just be your ticket to $1 million. Now, here's where you come in. Hit that subscribe button and join our community of treasure hunters. Every week, we dive into the world of coins, collectibles, and strategies to turn ordinary finds into extraordinary fortunes. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, and share it with your friends. They might thank you when they find their own $1 million penny. And hey, if you've got a story about a lucky find, drop it in the comments below. Who knows? Maybe you'll inspire someone else to start their own coin collecting journey. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, this little thing couldn't possibly be worth much, right? Well, think again. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a humble copper coin currently valued at a jaw-dropping $1 million. That's right, $1 million for a penny you might just find tucked away in an old jar or hiding under your couch cushions. Stick around, because I'll share why this penny is worth so much, what to look for, and even a little story about how one unexpected find made me re-evaluate all my spare change. Let's get rolling. Alright, so what's the deal with the 1964 no-mint mark penny? First, let's break it down. The no-mint mark simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. Back in the 1960s, Philly coins didn't carry a mint mark, unlike Denver and San Francisco coins, which proudly displayed a little D or S. So, if your 1964 penny doesn't have a mint mark, don't panic, it's not a mistake. It's just Philly doing its thing. Now, you might be wondering, what makes this particular penny worth $1 million? Excellent question. The 1964 penny owes its value to a combination of rarity, condition, and, let's be honest, a little bit of coin world magic. Most pennies minted in 1964 are incredibly common. They were made by the billions, literally. But here's the twist, the ultra-rare, high-value versions are those in pristine condition, known as mint state. Imagine a penny so shiny and flawless, it looks like it was minted yesterday. Those are the ones collectors will pay big bucks for, and here's the kicker, some of these pennies have subtle errors, like doubled die strikes or unique finishes, which send their value skyrocketing. That's why you need to inspect your coins carefully. Grab a magnifying glass or even just squint really hard. Trust me, it's worth it. Now, let me share a quick story. A few years back, I was helping my grandma clean out her attic. She handed me an old coffee can filled with pennies and said, "Take these to the bank." I'm tired of looking at them. Being the curious person I am, I decided to sort through them first. Lo and behold, I found a 1964 penny that looked suspiciously special. I did some research, sent it off to be graded, and while it wasn't $1 million penny, it did fetch a cool $500 at auction. Not bad for something that almost ended up in a coin counting machine, right? Moral of the story, never underestimate the power of loose change. Now, here's how you can check if your 1964 penny might be a hidden gem. First, look for that no mint mark. Then, examine its condition. Is it shiny with no scratches, dents, or discoloration? If so, you could be sitting on a fortune. Next, check for any errors, like letters that look doubled or other imperfections in the design. If you think you've got something special, send it to a professional grading service to confirm its value, and if you're wondering, where do I even find a 1964 penny like this, the answer is simple, start searching. Dig through your piggy banks, check old jars of coins, and don't forget to ask your family members if they've got any stashes lying around. Who knows, you might uncover $1 million penny without even leaving your house. Alright, folks, that's the scoop on the 1964 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin so valuable it could change your life. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone curious about what's jingling in your pocket, it's worth taking a closer look at your pennies. Remember, the next time you see a 1964 penny, don't just toss it in the meh pile. It might just be your golden, or rather, copper ticket to $1 million. Now, before you head off to raid your change jars, do me a quick favor. If you enjoyed this video and want more tips on coins worth money, strategies for finding hidden treasures, and maybe even a few more attic cleaning stories, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Let's build a community of savvy collectors together. Hey there, coin enthusiasts, treasure hunters, and people who just like finding weird stuff in their couch cushions. Imagine this: you're at the grocery store, you get your change, and boom, you're holding a penny worth $1 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, it's not. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1960 Lincoln penny. Yes, that little copper coin could make you a millionaire. Stick around because I'll share everything you need to know about spotting this rare gem, why it's worth so much, and even a funny story about the time I thought I found one, but didn't. Spoiler, it involves a magnifying glass and a lot of heartbreak. Let's kick things off with a little history lesson, but don't worry, this won't feel like school. The 1960 Lincoln penny has a unique feature called the small date variety. In 1960, the US Mint made two versions of the date, a large date and a small date. The difference is tiny, like, you'll need a magnifying glass to see it. But here's the kicker: the small date variety, with the D Mint mark for Denver, is extremely rare. Why? It all comes down to low production numbers and the fact that most people didn't notice this difference back in the day. So, they just spent these pennies like regular coins. Fast forward to today, and collectors are going wild trying to find them now. If you're sitting there thinking, okay, but why $1 million? It's because coin collectors, also known as numismatists, fancy word, right, are willing to pay insane amounts for rare coins. In pristine condition, what collectors call MS-65, this penny could fetch up to $1 million at auction. And let me tell you, it's not just rich collectors buying these coins. Everyday people like you and me are hunting for them too. Alright, so how do you know if you have the golden, well, copper, ticket? Look at the date. The 1 and 9 in 1960 should be closer together on the small date. The 6 will have a more delicate, rounded loop compared to the large date. Check the mint mark. Make sure there's a little D under the date. No D? Sorry, it's not the one. Condition matters. If it's scratched, dinged up, or looks like it went through a washing machine, its value drops faster than a phone into a toilet. Now, here's where I messed up. One day, I found a 1960 penny and got so excited I started calling everyone I know. I'm rich! I yelled. I even Googled new cars I could buy. Then, I took out a magnifying glass and large date. Not even close. Let's just say my family hasn't let me live that down. The 1960 small date penny represents a perfect storm of rarity, history, and collector frenzy. Coins like this are more than money, they're little pieces of art and history. It's like holding a time capsule in your hand. And, of course, there's the thrill of the hunt. Who doesn't love the idea of finding treasure in their own pocket change? Plus, coins like this bring people together. I've seen whole families get into collecting, searching for rare coins during weekend road trips or while cleaning out old jars. And don't even get me started on how addictive it is. You'll start with pennies and suddenly find yourself hunting for rare nickels, dimes, and quarters too. Alright, let's wrap this up. The 1960 Lincoln penny is proof that sometimes, the smallest things can be worth the biggest bucks. Whether you're already a coin collector or just someone who loves a good underdog story, this penny deserves your attention. So, what should you do now? First, start checking your change. Every penny counts, literally. Second, share this video with your friends and family. Who knows? Maybe they'll find one and split the profits with you. Okay, maybe not, but it's worth a shot. And finally, if you enjoyed this video, smash that subscribe button. I'm here every week with tips, stories, and strategies to help you uncover valuable coins hiding in plain sight. Don't miss out, you might just strike gold. Or, in this case, copper. Ever heard of finding a fortune in your pocket? What if I told you a simple penny, yes, one of those jingling around in your car cup holder, could be worth $1 million? Not just any penny though, we're talking about the 1976 no mint mark Lincoln penny. That's right, this seemingly ordinary coin could turn your luck around. Stay tuned, because in the next 20 minutes, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this hidden treasure. Plus, I've got a wild story about how a similar penny saved my day when I was, well, let's just say, in a tight spot. But first, let's dive into the basics. Okay, here's the deal. The 1976 Lincoln penny was minted without a mint mark in Philadelphia. But don't let that fool you, most of these pennies are worth, you guessed it, just 1 cent. So, what makes a rare one worth $1 million? It all comes down to condition, rarity, and the all-important error factor. Yup, we're talking about the quirks of coin minting, where a little mistake can turn into a big payday. The key is finding one in pristine condition, like those labeled MS67 or higher by professional grading companies. Now, if you're wondering how many of these rare gems exist, the answer is not many. That's why collectors will pay top dollar for one. Oh, and don't forget the significance of 1976, it's America's bicentennial year. A penny from that year? It's already a conversation starter, but a rare one? Jackpot. Let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, I was broke, like digging through my couch cushions for spare change, broke. I was heading to grab a quick coffee to fuel a long day when I came across this old penny in my pocket. It looked different, and I almost tossed it in the leave a penny, take a penny tray at the counter. But something told me to hold on to it. A week later, I checked its value online, and no, it wasn't worth $1 million, but it was worth $500. That's 5 months of coffee right there. Lesson learned, never underestimate a penny, my friends. Alright, let's talk strategies. How can you find one of these elusive 1976 no-mint mark pennies? First, raid your piggy banks, jars, and anywhere else you stash loose change. Next, hit up garage sales or estate sales, people often overlook coin collections. And, of course, check the coin rolls from your local bank. It's like a treasure hunt, but instead of a pirate's chest, you're digging through spare change. Now, if you think you've hit the jackpot, get your coin professionally graded. This is crucial, because the value of your penny depends on its grade. Even the tiniest scratch or smudge can knock thousands off its value. If you're wondering how to grade a coin, don't worry, I've got a video coming soon on that, so make sure to hit that subscribe button. So, what's the moral of the story here? Never underestimate what's hiding in plain sight, especially when it comes to pennies. The 1976 no-mint mark Lincoln penny might just be the $1 million miracle you didn't know you had. Now, if you'll excuse me, I've got some change jars to dig through, and hey, if you enjoyed this video, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe for more tips on coins worth serious money, and share this video with your friends. Who knows? You might be the one who helps them strike gold, or copper, in this case. Alright, folks. Have you ever found a penny lying on the ground, picked it up, and thought, well, this is barely worth bending over for? What if I told you that one little penny could make you a millionaire? Yes, you heard me right, a millionaire. Today, we're diving into the fascinating story of the 1949 no-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, a coin worth a jaw-dropping $1 million in today's market. So, hold on to your hats or your piggy banks, because this is one penny story you don't want to miss. Let's kick things off by understanding why this particular penny is so valuable. The 1949 no-mint mark Lincoln penny wasn't made with any special metals, just good old copper and zinc. So, what's the deal? Why the $1 million price tag? It all comes down to rarity and condition. In 1949, pennies with no-mint mark were made at the Philadelphia Mint. These coins weren't rare initially, but over time, most of them were either damaged, lost, or thrown into those big coin jars everyone's grandma has. Only a handful of these pennies remain in pristine condition today, and collectors will pay big bucks for them, especially if they're graded highly, like mint state 65 or higher. And now, here's a quick tip: you can tell it's a no-mint mark coin by looking just below the date. If there's no little letter, no S for San Francisco, no D for Denver, then congratulations, you've got a no-mint mark penny. But before you quit your job and start a penny hunting business, remember, condition is everything. A coin that's been chewed up by your dog or spent a decade under your couch cushions probably won't fetch much. Now, let me share a funny personal story. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my junk drawer, the one with random batteries, paper clips, and that one pen that's always out of ink, and I stumbled upon an old penny. For a moment, I thought I'd hit the jackpot. I rushed to my computer, Googled it, and realized it was a 1948 penny, not a 1949. I was 1 year off. Let me tell you, the heartbreak was real. But it taught me an important lesson: always double-check your dates. Back to our $1 million penny. What makes this coin truly special is how it connects people to history. 1949 was a post-war year, a time when America was rebuilding and dreaming big. Owning a penny from that era, especially one so rare, is like holding a tiny piece of history in your hand. And if that history happens to make you rich? Even better, But how do you know if your penny is worth the big bucks? First, inspect it carefully. If it's in great condition with no scratches or discoloration, you might be onto something. Next, get it appraised by a professional coin grader. They'll assign it a grade based on its condition, which can significantly impact its value. A 1949 no-mint mark penny in near-perfect condition can fetch anywhere from $800,000 to $1 million at auction. That's enough to buy a house, a fancy car, and still have money left for a lifetime supply of tacos. And let's not forget the humor in this whole situation. Imagine telling someone you became a millionaire because of a penny. They'd probably think you're pulling their leg. But hey, it just goes to show that sometimes, the smallest things can make the biggest impact, literally and financially. Alright, folks, we've come to the end of this penny pack journey. If you've got a jar of old coins lying around, now's the time to dig through it. Who knows? You might be sitting on $1 million without even knowing it. And if you don't find a 1949 no-mint mark penny, don't worry, there are plenty of other valuable coins out there just waiting to be discovered. Before you go, here's my challenge to you. Check your coins, share your findings in the comments, and hit that subscribe button for more tips on coins worth money. I've got plenty of stories, strategies, and even more humor where this came from. Who knows? Your next penny could be the ticket to $1 million future. We're diving into the fascinating world of the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny. That's right, the coin that was made to honor good old Honest Abe might just make you rich. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this penny is so valuable, how to spot one, and maybe, just maybe, you'll start checking your change with a little more excitement. Let's get started. So, what makes this penny so special? In 2009, to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday, the U.S. Mint released 4 different designs for the reverse side of the penny. Each one depicted a different stage of Lincoln's life: his birth and early childhood in Kentucky, his formative years in Indiana, his professional life in Illinois, and his presidency in Washington, D.C. Sounds cool, right? But here's the kicker: some of these pennies have errors or unique characteristics that collectors are willing to pay big money for. Let me tell you, when I first heard about this, I went straight to my couch like a madman. Found everything but a 2009 penny, some buttons, a stale French fry, even a paperclip. But that's the thrill of the hunt, isn't it? Now, not every 2009 penny is worth millions, so don't start buying pennies in bulk just yet. The one that's sold for $1.4 million? It's a rare error coin. Error coins are like typos on money, they happen when something goes wrong during the minting process. In this case, the penny had a double die error, meaning some of the details, like Lincoln's features or the inscriptions, appeared doubled. Imagine seeing 2 noses on Abe Lincoln. It's weird, but collectors love that kind of stuff. And here's another reason this penny is valuable: it's made of 95% copper. While modern pennies are mostly zinc with a thin copper coating, these bicentennial pennies stand out because of their higher copper content, which gives them that rich, warm tone collectors go crazy for. So, how do you know if you've got the $1 million jackpot? First, look for the mint mark. If it's a 2009 penny and it has a D4 Denver or S4 San Francisco, you might be onto something. No mint mark? Don't toss it just yet, those can still be worth checking. Next, you'll want to look at the details on the coin. Are there any weird doubling effects on the letters or Lincoln's profile? If so, you could be sitting on a gold mine or, in this case, a copper mine. Also, keep an eye out for pristine condition. Coins that have been preserved without scratches, smudges, or signs of wear can fetch higher prices. Think of it like dating: everyone prefers the one without baggage, right? Okay, quick story. A friend of mine once found a 2009 penny in his car's cup holder. He thought it looked weird, but instead of checking its value, he used it to pay for parking. A week later, he found out about these $1 million pennies and realized he might have just paid for a parking spot with a literal fortune. I've never seen someone regret 25 cents so much in my life. So, moral of the story: check your change. Alright, folks, the 2009 Lincoln Bicentennial penny is proof that even the smallest things can hold incredible value. Whether it's a rare error, a mint condition coin, or just a lucky find, you never know when a little penny could turn into a big payday. So, next time you get change back, don't just shove it in a jar, give it a closer look. And hey, if you found this video helpful, hit that like button, share it with a friend, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more tips on coins worth big money. Who knows? The next video might just help you spot a hidden treasure in your pocket. Thanks for watching, and happy hunting!